The Invicta watch's Pro Diver comes in 40 millimeters wide, 48 millimeters wide, and 14 millimeters thick. That's about halfway as far as you can get with a 200-meter diver. One of the most affordable automatic divers on the market, the Invicta Pro Diver watch became one of the best-selling watches on the market. Let's get into the depth review of this watch. Case. The Invicta Pro Diver is a big draw for me. There are things I dislike about her, but something about her makes my blood boil. The beauty of the watch is probably what you think about it. The 40mm sub case. Finding a watch that embodies the Rolex submariner's identity to the fullest is a journey that has taken watch enthusiasts in It's a Time. Many micro-brands offer subcases, and a variety of micro-brands do that. What I have to say is the subcase on the Invicta Pro Diver 8926OB works really well. Accuracy is good, and magnification is good. Better than some other brands offering 6 times. The way Invicta does it here is one I wholeheartedly agree with. If it ain't broke, it ain't worth it, ankle. Over the years, I have seen so many variations of the subcase that it made me want to research it for a long time. Some where the stakes are greater than the rewards. Some have weird designs. Some get their hands dirty Seamaster on a Rolex watch. And there are a few racing watches that I don't want to mention. In 40 millimeters length, approximately 48 millimeters lug to lug, and approximately at 14 millimeters thick, the Invicta Pro Diver is comfortable. The reason you're looking for a subcase is because you want a subcase, not a branded case. These classical dimensions are the same as the position of the shape of the body and the size of the hand. When I turned on the watch and put it on, I had a moment where everything seemed to fall into place. There was no problem or adjustment or a claim I had to put my wristband on, though. I put the Invicta Pro Diver in my hands, and everything felt good on the floor. Dial. Again. Visually, we are working with a dial almost one-to-one with a sub. However, understanding the scope of work is something you should consider if you look into buying the Invicta Pro Diver 8926OB. I was surprised to see that the markers were installed, like the Invicta logo and the name Invicta on the back. The markers, handles, logo, and brand name all blend well with the right design history. When the Invicta Pro Diver pulls the light on, there's a lot going on. The compass pink markers, 12, 3, 9, show a slightly better accuracy than the other markers used on the Invicta Pro Diver. I attribute this to their ability to capture light better. I believe it's because they have a lot of land in the relationship. Round applied markers can look a bit small at times because they don't have the shape of the frame. Bracelet. The neck width of the Invicta Pro Diver bracelet is 20 millimeters, and it drops to 18 millimeters on the wrist, which I find to be a good fit. And it's a good reason. I actually didn't care for the mid-mounted panels as much as I thought I would. I think they're the best among TTE. The wrought iron really complements the other parts of the watch and adds a touch of sophistication to the pieces. The end links aren't perfect, which is no surprise given Invicta's price. The other links actually have a very interesting effect, more so than I expected. It doesn't have that hollow or bulbous shape that some super cheap bracelets have. I recommend the styling here to match the bracelets on the new Orient Mako 2 models. Depending on the case, the technique is good here. The top on the bracelet straps is white and looks great. Also, the edges of the bracelet don't have the warmth/wear-resistant design that I've noticed from other brands out there, especially on J Micro labels. The results are continuous and not overlapping. Wrist. Even though the Pro Diver is thinner than a typical Rolex Submariner, approximately 13 millimeters, the overall width of the dial makes it more responsive. The case is flat, but there is a slot in the case that will make the watch fit all but the smallest of wrists. However, the case back flips up to hold the watch on the wrist. If Invicta used a more accurate movement, it would probably lower the accuracy by a millimeter or two and make a watch more be-water. The difference with Pro Diver is exactly what you expect in terms of speed and accuracy. It doesn't stretch too much, and the bracelet is adjustable. Invicta made a watch that can be used for this purpose and made a great watch that can be had for under $100. Water resistance. One of the highlights of the Invicta Pro Diver watch is its 20-bar water resistance. Next up is a diver's watch. It says so in his name. But is it really safe to swim in? Well, in addition to the water resistance rating of 200 meters, the watch also comes with an automatic dial, the automatic version at least, and a T explanation is clear. As mentioned, the hands and hour markers are illuminated. Lastly, the watch comes with a 120-click unidirectional rotating aluminum bezel that's designed to work when it's moving. Everything you expect, at least in design, the Invicta Pro Diver automatic watch is a must for diving. Movement. The Invicta Pro Diver watch is powered by a Japanese NH35, a 24-joule movement with a maximum speed of 21.6 thousand bph, manufactured by Seiko. It's a self-sustaining process. This means that by extending your arm, you will strengthen your shoulder and enter the clock speed. If you stop the clock for a while, you can release the motion to run the clock and keep track of time accurately. First time wearing a diver's watch? Watch our video on how to get your hands on an Invicta Pro Diver watch movement here. Our judgment of the performance is that it meets expectations. If you wear the watch, it will keep track of time with accuracy, subtracting seconds. The watch has a 41-hour power reserve. Do people really hate this watch? Before I get into the ups, downs, and downs of the Pro Diver, I want to talk about the big differences that come with TIUD's Pro Diver on the table. In the end, the problem received by the Pro Diver can be extended to the Rolex Submariner. With that said, Invicta is neither the first nor the last to pay tribute to the Submariner. I remember the first time I saw a Pro Diver on someone else's back. I was at a business meeting. I ended up talking to the man in the suit and asked him about it. He said he has only bought one automatic watch and will buy another one if it gets out of hand. By the time we had this conversation 3 years ago, the clock had ticked for 5 years. The reason I noticed the watch was because, at first glance, I thought it was a Submariner. There are two things going on in this situation.
Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, and do subscribe.